Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Cabin Fever Astronomy. Today's episode will be all about navigation. First up, what can you see in the sky tonight? We're going to change things up a little bit, and instead of looking in the south, we are going to look high overhead in the north. On this side of the sky is a well-known group of stars commonly called the Big Dipper. Can you find it? It has 3 stars that make up a handle and 4 stars that make up the ladle of the dipper. The moon and Venus will be far to your left when you spot it. Here, I've marked out both the Big and the Little Dipper. The stars of the Little Dipper are much dimmer than those of the Big Dipper. However, once you find the Big Dipper, all you have to do is follow the 2 stars at the end of the ladle in a straight line in order to find the tail of the Little Dipper. This actually leads us to a very important star named Polaris, or the North Star. You may have heard about Polaris before as being the brightest star in the night sky. That is a common misconception. Polaris is not particularly bright, but it is very important. It is the only star in the night sky that stays in the same spot no matter what. We've mentioned before how constellations rise in the east and set in the west due to the rotation of the Earth. Let's take a look at that while facing the North Star. Can you see it? I've marked it here for you. Let's start at 9 p.m. and move 1 hour at a time. Take note of where the other constellations are in comparison to Polaris. That changed a fair bit, didn't it? Stars on the eastern side appear to move up, while stars on the western side move down. Let's fast forward again. Now the Big Dipper is high overhead, and a new constellation has risen, Hercules. But has Polaris moved? Not really. It's still sitting right there in the north. Let's fast forward again. And one more time. So there you are, proof that the North Star stays constant for you no matter what time of night. This is also true for whatever time of year it is. And that is also how we get these beautiful images. A camera set to watch the North Star for hours at a time will get a stunning image like this one. You can clearly see the paths the stars took over the set period of time. For our next section, Astrophysics Light, let's go into a little more detail as to why the North Star stays put. It all has to do with the imaginary celestial sphere. We show it here as a globe surrounding the Earth. On this globe, objects like stars are fixed, and the Earth rotates inside it, allowing us a changing view of the stars. In reality, we know that stars are varying distances from the Earth, but this sphere makes it easy to see what the sky looks like for someone on Earth. Note that Earth in this picture has been tilted so that your North America is at the top and the North Pole is where the N is. The apparent motion of celestial objects in the sky around the pole is shown by the circular arrow. Here is another look at that sphere. Stars are shown as white points on the sphere. If the North Star is placed at the top, you can imagine all of the other stars blurring as the Earth rotates. For the Tour of the Universe section, we are going to tour the night sky using the Big Dipper as a guide. There are so many stars that we can find once we locate the Big Dipper. First, if we continue to follow our line from the Big Dipper to Polaris, we get to a star named Calf in the constellation Cassiopeia. Next, if we use the tail of the Big Dipper and follow its arc down across the sky, we get to the bright star Arcturus in the constellation Boötes. Now, take the 2 stars at the front of the ladle, follow them in a straight line, and we get to the bright star Regulus in the constellation Leo the Lion. We've gotten pretty good at following the Big Dipper, so let's try a more difficult one. We are going to cut across the ladle of the Dipper and follow this in a straight line until we get to the stars Castor and Pollux in the constellation Gemini. We can even use the Big Dipper to find one of the brightest stars in the night sky, Capella, in the constellation Auriga. Just take the two stars in the opening of the ladle and follow them in a straight line. Now we've gone all the way across the sky, identifying bright stars and constellations along the way. There are many more tricks to use the Big Dipper to find your way across the sky. Can you think of any? Take a look at a sky map and see what connections you can find. That concludes today's episode of Cabin Fever Astronomy. If you have any questions, please send them to astronomy@boonshoffmuseum.org. If you'd like more content, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Have a great day.